Hey guys, this is a bit of a quick video, but it's something very, very important concerning the way in which Feral is playing right now. There is a massive bug with Tiger Fury, and it's causing us to lose a dramatic amount of damage. It's actually compromising, in my opinion, a whole talent, as well as just like generally dropping specifically our single target down massively, and it is a tyrannical week and stuff like that as well. So I wanted to make a quick video talking about that so that you're aware of it, but I also wanted to use this as an opportunity to talk about other issues that Feral is facing that Blizzard could really just do with touching up to improve the quality of life of Feral. And I know that they're able to do this stuff because you can look at what they're looking to do with Guardian in 10.0.5 with making Innovate castable in bear form and stuff like that. And clearly they can make these changes, but it's probably a choice that they're not willing to make right now. So I think if we can kind of highlight to them why these things are important and quite critical when it comes to Feral gameplay, hopefully they'll listen. So if you're concerned as well, comment down below. Let me know if this stuff is relevant to you, and also post on the forums and whatever else, however else you can get the devs' attention. So right now there's an issue with, and apparently this has been going on for a very long time. This is a bug that's been consistent. I spoke to some theory crafters. They said the Tiger Fury bug is something that has been relevant for a while. But the reason we're seeing it more so now as being an issue is because we are going into, at least in my experience, I'm going into these higher level dungeons, and I'm finding, specifically on Tyrannical Week, that I'm having to bear form a lot to survive most mechanics, and the frequency in which we're having to do this, it has increased because I feel like Feral is like not so strong defensively right now, and so we're having to go into bear form to pretty much live most mechanics that bosses do, and even in Fortified, in high level keys, some trash mechanics as well. So you have to bear form a lot just to survive. But what the bug is that when you have Tiger Fury active, which you can see top right here, if I then go into bear form, it immediately cancels Tiger Fury. However, if you shift into Boomkin form, or into Tree form, or Stag form, or any other form, it doesn't cancel Tiger Fury, which makes me believe that this isn't an intended design, because it just... And even if it is, it's really, really disruptive. It's really, really, not dangerous for, but really bad, really, really rough for us if that's the case. So I want to show you a little clip here of where in action this can actually affect us, right? So it's tyrannical. We are close to depleting this key. We need every ounce of damage that we can possibly get to time this key. Spoilers, we don't end up timing it. But in these situations where it is real crunch time and you get in those 3-second depletes and that kind of thing, these kind of things matter. And so what I have now is I have 14 seconds on my Tiger Fury top right. I have this Frost Bomb that's going down, and if I stay in cat form, it will either kill me or take me very, very, very close to the edge. And then if I then get the follow-up mechanic from the boss, it'll just straight up kill me, right? There's scenarios of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift into bear form right now. I still have 12 seconds left on Tiger Fury. I'm going to shift into bear. It immediately cancels my Tiger Fury, and then I'm going to use that to charge to the boss. But now, I'm just in a terrible situation because my Tiger Fury is halfway before it's, halfway through its cooldown, and I have to reapply a rip, and it's like, I can't now snapshot this rip with the Tiger Fury damage increase. Like, this is very, very, very bad for us, because you're losing that 15% damage, plus the additional 12, or potentially 12% damage from Carnivorous Instinct. So if you're playing, particularly this week where you're trying to get extra boss damage, but you're also having to bear form to survive mechanics, or use things like in-cap Roar, right? Say you're in a dungeon, and you want to just help out the team and stop a spellcast going through or something, and you in-cap Roar, it automatically puts you into bear form, which again will cancel your Tiger Fury. So you're kind of encouraged to not do things that are going to help your team, because you're at risk of losing up to 27% damage from anywhere from 1 to 30 seconds, depending on when you've used Tiger Fury. And some of these mechanics happen so regularly, like the Frost Bomb in Azrael, that you can't go like, oh, well, I'll wait until after the Frost Bomb and then I'll use my Tiger Fury. Because again, with Raging Fury, like, we get the extension on our Tiger Fury, right, with that talent. And if you're having to... the Frost Bomb happens so regularly that you're never going to have a good time to use Tiger Fury. So like now, I want to pop my cooldowns. It's time sensitive. There's an intermission. I want to pop my cooldowns, but it's like, well, if I do, I'm gonna have to frost bomb. And so what you end up having to do is cycle in bark skin and survival instincts on mechanics that you shouldn't need to use those for to survive, in order to be a DPS gain. So now you're having to survival instincts and bark skin for DPS gain. It's really not good. So this is something that I think is quite serious for us, because we're potentially losing 27% damage, and it actually kind of nerfs these talents for me. And in my opinion, I don't really want to play double CI in Tyrannical this week, because I will not live these keys. I will not live these keys. So I think this is something quite important, and I wanted to use this video to also highlight things, you know, like I say, the fact that if you're in cat form, you know, and you want to incap something, it just takes you into bear form. And I think that there should be some kind of toggle. Like, sometimes it's cool because you want to go into bear form, but I doubt it. It's the same thing with Stampeding Roar. Like, Stampeding Roar keeps you in cat form when you Stampeding Roar. But if you're in bear form, it'll put you in bear form. And if you play, say, Boomkin and you use Roar, it'll put you in bear form, right? So it does those things, which is, like, generally good. But they make the exception for Feral, where for Feral, if you Stampeding Roar, it keeps you in cat form, because they know that you want to stay in cat form. So I think that there should be some kind of toggle or something where we can incap Roar and it will keep us in cat form, and then we can continue to use that ability. But also things like Innovate. If I want to go and Innovate somebody, it takes me out of cat form, and then I have to go back into cat form, and it's really frustrating because it interrupts your flow with Blood Talons, right? Because you have to use another global going into cat form. And what if you just use 2 combo point generators, and then you want to Innovate, and because your healer calls for Innovate and they need it now? You've done 2 abilities, and then you want to Innovate, and then you got to go back into cat form, and then you're going to miss your Blood Talons window. So it's little things like this that could improve the quality of life of Feral. Another one would be Rebirth. So if you're a Boomkin, you can Rebirth in Boomkin form. It just costs you a cast time. If you are a Resto Druid, you can use it in humanoid form, and again, it's just a cast time. And if you are a bear, you can use it in bear form, but it just costs you Rage. I would be okay with Rebirth, and this is maybe just me speaking for me. I don't want to claim all Ferals would be happy with it, but I wouldn't mind personally if Rebirth cost energy, like 50 energy or something, whatever, but it was an instant cast from cat form. It would be game-changing. It would be amazing. I would love that. So they don't even have to put an energy cost to it, but I wouldn't mind if they did, because that's reasonable. They put one for bear form as well. So, like, Rebirth, taking us out of cat form, is very disruptive. I literally wiped to it, or I died to it in a dungeon yesterday. I was in a temple. I was on the last boss. We were close to timing it. I went to res a player who had died during the intermission phase when all the ads kind of spawn, and I had to go out of cat form, hard res, and then go back into cat form before, and it just slowed me down to the point where I was able to get attacked by the mirror images, and they killed me. So it's like little things like that where it would just improve our quality of life. I think it's just Rebirth, Innovate, and incapacitating Roar. I think I kept saying intimidating Roar, but I meant incapacitating Roar. You guys know what I meant. I think that's everything that I can think of. If there are any others, I'm sure you can comment down below. But yeah, I'd like to see Blizzard kind of fix these things. I do think they're quite important. But yeah, just highlighting to you guys that just be careful with using Carnivorous Instinct this week. Be careful of this bear form, Tiger Fury issue that's happening right now. Anyway, thanks for watching. Blizzard, if you're listening, please, it would be lovely to see you do something about this quite quickly. Thanks.